Yeah, I combed my hair today. Yo, my dudes, welcome back. Javier's here again, yet again.
What's up?
Yet again?
Yep.
We're not. I told you, you're doing this with me, all right? No more blur for you. I don't even think we blurred you at all. Today's a good day. Today, the beams is going in the E30. Way more excited. Cheers. So we ended up getting all the suspension done, all the bushings all in, and this is what she sits like. A little stink bug, so we're gonna remove the rear cup in the back. Once we lower that, it'll go down, and the weight in the rear is pretty much where it's gonna be the whole time, but the front end's gonna end up having to go up just a little bit because once we put the motor in, it's gonna weigh it down. So we'll make final adjustments on the coilovers later. The engine bay is completely prepared and ready to go. Off camera, I installed the Condor Speed Shop steering column. You just break off the bottom, you break off the top up there, and then the OEM steering column just has this collar on it that you loosen up. It collapses into itself. This one goes in just like the other one came out. Super easy. So that's all in. We had to get that in order to throw in the motor. I didn't want to do that afterward because the motor's going to take up a lot of space. As you guys know, AK Integrated Auto Works is a huge partner in this series, and so is Condor Speed Shop. I have a table full of goodies right here in front of me. Now this is really important. First of all, shout out to Javier because again, Javier has the same setup, like the same exact thing. His is just white. But Javier is the one who plugged me with AK, and then Andrew from Andy's Tires also plugged me with AK, and between the two of you, I found out about the company because of you, and then Andrew tagged me, and then Casey was like, let's do something together. So between you and Andrew, thank you.
Now we're doing something?
Yep, we're doing something. Now we have the AK kit, and the cool thing about the AK beam swap kit for the E30 is, I mean, obviously these headers. This is their header. It's like a ram horn header. It's for a master delete kit. This is the very first one, and something like this would work really good on like your setup. You have the master actually deleted and you just have a little master sitting in your engine bay. Because we have the tilt and pedal assembly, we might be able to get away with a different style header, maybe some regular like hooped over ones instead of this section here being open for the master. He made me these. They're super dope. The weld and the quality of these is actually really nice. That gave me comfort because he also makes the engine mount kit. So these are the front engine mounts, and then this is the transmission mount. The cool part about this kit is that it works with OEM bushings. Condor makes the bushings that replace OEM bushings, so the Condor bushings will work perfect with the AK kit, along with the transmission ones as well. But on top of all this stuff, they also make a plug and play harness. So it's pretty simple. Everything's basic. Some ground, some power wires. Plug them in. I got a O2 sensor bung as well he put into the harness for me. These are all the beam setups. There's another ground. You plug it into your existing, I forgot what these things are called, but like
C101.
Your C101, is that what it's called? The BMW plug in the engine bay, you plug this in, cluster works, the thing cranks, fires right up. So we're gonna take all of this junk and that big pile of crap and put it into this freaking turd bucket. And hopefully at the end, we have a really polished turd. You ready? Yeah, buddy. It's gonna be all hard mounted, so there's gonna be some vibration, and 4-cylinders aren't exactly the smoothest motors. So we're gonna throw a little dab of Loctite on everything. Now, this stuff takes some time to dry when it's in there, and it dries with the absence of air, which a lot of you guys who watch my channel know that because we always talk about Loctite. So it's pretty nice. AK ended up slotting these brackets so that you can kind of get a little bit more adjustment out of them if you need to. It's pretty clean because I like to get things close to tight and then snugged after it's all bolted in, just so you're not fighting anything that's like binding. A lot of binding happens. You'll tighten this all down, and then the transmission needs to be moved a little bit, and if you have the front end all tightened down from the back end, don't want to go on line up. So with these being slotted and you leaving these bolts loose, it's gonna be a lot easier to line stuff up. And we'll do the same thing the other side. Also, really fast, before you can throw your motor and transmission in, you got to take your shifter off. So we'll remove this real quick. It's not a 12, it's a 10. There's a little like plastic guy on the base of the shifter that needs to be twisted at like an angle so that you don't break it or whatever. There it is. So this is a little plastic guy here. You can throw a new one on here and it'll actually get rid of a lot of that slop. You can, I don't know, you can wrap a piece of tape in there. You can do whatever you want to do to make it not sloppy. It'll actually help out with your shifter. All these little slop points will add up and eventually your shifter will feel all gunky, but you can also do that later. So you don't need to do it right now, but we do need to take it out. So there it is, 4 bolts, wiggle it out nice and easy. It'll come out, there you go. Bushing on. So we can actually go down a little bit. Can you see it?
Yeah, I got it. I got small hands.
Baby hands. That's what we call them. We actually call them baby hands, Javier. So in the manual trans, they're going to use these back pickup points, and on the auto transmission cars, sorry, they're going to use the rear pickup points. I assume the manual trans probably uses the front, but for us, we have to use the front. So we need to take these studs that BMW has in the chassis, and you're going to have to slide them back, and then they'll get to the point where you can remove them. They're like keyed, so you'll have to reinsert up here. If I can see what I'm doing, you'll reinsert it. Oh, up in the front side. You can't see what I'm doing. This wire is like right in my way. And then you'll slide the stud back into position. That's crazy, that shifter alignment. You can't see it from there, but it's going straight into the freaking hole. That's so cool. That makes this project so much easier.
Right.
You can see it up there?
Yeah.
Dial. That's gonna kind of pull the... Now I can drop the weight on that. So now those are in. And then what I'll do is we're gonna kind of like just make sure that this is in, yeah, okay, that's in a rested position and it's not like all bound up or anything. Shifter and the back of the transmission looks like it's pretty squared. Potentially the front of the motor needs to go over to the right, so we'll leave these mains loose to the chassis, and then we'll do the engine bay first, and then we'll come back to this. And once the main engine mounts are tightened down, then we'll come back and we'll tighten all this down. It's time for me to introduce you guys to the golden ratchet. This only comes out when we're putting on sick parts. In this case, the engine mounts. Can we get like a glow around this thing? Oh, really like this ratchet. Wanted it for Christmas. Serves absolutely no purpose. It's the same freaking thing as a regular ratchet. But it's our golden one, boys. Look how pretty she is down there. I wish I had parts that were plated like that. So clean. This is the first time that the channel has seen the golden ratchet, dude.
Really?
It's been in my toolbox. I got it last Christmas.
Dang.
And I just haven't introduced it to the channel yet. But now that we're building a car in the garage completely, we're installing some badass parts.
Oh yeah.
Time for the gold ratchet, dude. So the engine mounts are all tight. I went under there, tightened up the transmission mount, so should be good to have the motor finally in its final resting place. There she is. Motor's in. Coffee break, boys. Oh yeah. Cheers. Now that the motor's in position, now we get to do like all the plumbing and the routing and the wiring. So like now that you have like your motor and stuff in place, and you can find out like where your power steering pump sits there now. So now I need to figure out where I'm putting my reservoir, and then I can figure out my line on where it goes from the pump to the rack. And then the same thing with your coolant lines and your oil lines and whatever other stuff you're doing. This is always a good spot to be, because now it just becomes like we get to measure things and make all these fittings and stuff. So I'm excited to see it in this spot, and we can finally get rid of this ridiculous seatbelt that we bought the motor with. Should we cut it off?
Yeah.
Everybody always asks me why I have this laying around. For moments just like this. I don't want to damage it too much. It's a sharp knife, dude. Sharp knife. Tell you what, real man keeps his blade sharp. It's gone. Motor's in. Oh yeah, it has a rubber. It has that rubber isolator. Oh, that scared me for a second. Oh my god. Dude, she's hard mounted. So the Condor mounts are in, the AK mounts are in, the transmission mount and bushings are also in. The last thing that we're throwing in now is the headers. Oh yeah, shifter. You're right. Hold on. That's really freaking good. Holy. So again, I did a video on how to center this, but let's get this shifter back in. Oh. I really like this freaking ratchet, dude. I probably like it too much. Bop, bop. 6th gear right there, baby. We're cruising altitude. There it is, dude. That shifter fits in there. Super squared. The shifter mounting in the right spot is cool, but I'm way more excited about these. Get these on here. See what they look like. Look at that. Damn, son. Damn, son. There you have it. The AK mounts that literally, I think, dude, what was that? Like an hour, maybe? Maybe an hour to throw it in. The AK mounts compared with the Condor bushings, you can literally bolt everything straight in. The wiring's even going to be pretty fast. Javier is here to help me, and we have Casey on speed dial just in case we run into any type of issue, which we did Javier's car, and it was quick too. I can't wait to get into the plumbing of things, dude. This is the only thing I will tell you. This is the one thing I really don't like about this motor, is that the electrical harness is up here. But we'll figure out something to make it look cool and kind of tuck some stuff away. But there it is, boys. The Beams motor and transmission is in the damn car after all that engine bay, subframe, coilover, all that work. This thing's finally in. Huge shout out to the boys at AK and Condor Speed Shop for helping us get this project done. Don't forget, go visit them, go see them, go love them, follow them, like their stuff. Dog, get out of the street! Don't forget about the boys at AK. Don't forget about the guys over at Condor. They made this project come together really easy. If you guys can, give everybody some love. Go like, subscribe, go share all this stuff. If you're doing your own beam swap, stick around. We got more stuff coming, dude. Stay safe. All right, guys, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel in another way, you can head to holdfast-usa.com. Buy anything on the website. It helps us keep this content coming to you. Huge thanks to the sponsors as well who support all these different series that we want to bring you guys. Give them a follow, give them a like, tell them Micah sent you. As always, boys, stay safe.